It is Monday, January 13th. And to be honest, this is the second time I've done this video because I did this video just a couple minutes ago. It was like 5.5 minutes long, covered all my points, thought I got everything done. And at the very end, I said, go Tigers. And when I spelled it out, so I could discern between the LSU Tigers and the Clemson Tigers, I spelled go wrong. I don't know. So I could not bear to put that up there and be ridiculed. So I'm just telling you that I spelled it wrong versus letting you see me spell it wrong. So I said today is Monday, January 13th, and my big news today is I got the sponges and the wound vacs off of my 2 incisions, which I'm very excited about. Those are the sponges and the wound vac they put on right in the surgery room. And so there were 2 long blue sponges that they put over the 2 incisions, and then they put an adhesive layer of I want to say tape, but it's adhesive plastic sheathing that goes over it, and then they turn the wound back on, and the sponge and everything sucks in its negative pressure. So I had 2 of those on, and 2 things that went with it, 2 wound vacs that went with it, which was kind of a little bit of a pain. But what those do is they keep the area sterile or at least clean, because nothing's getting in and out, and there's nothing on it. And the negative pressure pulls the red blood cells up to the incision and helps it heal faster. And so when I finally got those off, I looked at it. It's actually a really clean looking surgery site. Unlike the last surgery that I had, I was covered, in it's just all stapled together and covered for a little while, and then they take the gauze off, and then it's been bleeding, and I don't know. This was a really I think this is a really good way to finish out a surgery and help the incision heal. It's a lot cleaner in the aspect of when I had the colostomy surgery, the incision that they did, that was probably just a little under the belly button, down. I think maybe that incision was about that big. Just looked more like rough. And even when I had it, I was thinking, gosh, this thing's never going to go. This does not look good. This one looks really, really clean and just tight and cleaned up. So I'm looking forward to that. But getting the wound vacs off and the adhesive and the sponges was not fun. It's something I had to do myself. So I jumped in the shower and had a whole bunch of adhesive remover wipes and just had to go around the edges and just keep pulling them off. And so I was in the shower for about 30 minutes trying to get those off. It was not really comfortable. It wasn't painful, except for in the areas that they were not nice enough to shave before they put that over. Oh my gosh, that did not feel good. But anyway, so it took me a while. I got it off. And like I said, it looks good. I'm not one to look at those kind of things, like wounds and stuff like that. As a matter of fact, my the wound and when I had the wound vac and actually had like kind of an open wound, it wasn't that big, and I don't even think it was that nasty, but I never looked at it. I did not look at it until it had been healed so much that we actually took the wound vac off. I just don't like looking at stuff like that. And this actually doesn't look that bad. I mean, there's still a lot of swelling, and it's kind of weird and oddly shaped as it goes down. But it looks clean. It's not too bad. And I also got to count the staples because I had no idea how many staples I had in. I just assumed that they would sew me up, but they did staples. So the one where the colostomy was, that incision is probably about that big, and that had 14 staples in it. And then the one where they actually, down the middle, where they did the incision, where they opened me up to do the tumor and all that kind of stuff, that one goes from above where my belly button was, because I no longer have a belly button, because they cut down basically through it. And then when they put me back together, they actually had to cut off some extra skin. That's a whole another thing. But when they put the hernia back together, the muscles had separated. So when they put them back together, the skin that had over the months grown over it and kind of stretched because of the hernia, that was all loose skin. So they cut all that off. So there was no belly button there, but that incision goes from the top, like where the top of my belly button was, all the way down to like the pelvic bone. It's a large incision. I probably will end up measuring it because I like to have numbers, but that one has 23 staples in it. So next Monday, that's the next big step. I'll go in and get those staples out. I am not looking forward to that at all. When I had my knee surgery in December of 2018, they put staples in. And I'd never had staples before closing an incision. And he said, all right, pull these out. There's going to be a little bit of a pinch. That was not a pinch. That stung. It hurt. I cried out a couple times. That was not fun. And I think I can tolerate pain pretty well. So I'm just praying that next Monday when I go to get those staples out, that they just come out very easily and it's not a thing, because I don't want it to be a thing. So let me think. It's nice. It's nice to not be hooked up to or have something hanging out of my body. I haven't felt like this since the 15th of April, because on the 16th of April, I got my colostomy. And from then on, I've either had the colostomy bag, so that's hanging off my body, attached to and hanging off my body, or, some kind of wound vac or wound vacs, and then the wound vacs that I've been carrying around for the last week. So it's really nice actually to just be laying here and not be attached to anything and not have anything attached to me. So that is it for today. Things are good. The only thing we got left today to do is, a little bit of work and watch the national championship game. So go Tigers. And I mean go as in Geaux, Tigers. LSU Tigers, not Clemson Tigers, LSU Tigers. All right, hopefully tomorrow I'm not crying from a loss tonight. I don't think I will be. I feel really good about this. Whew. All right, go Tigers.